Hey there, folks. Chris Holman, Nine Line Ministries. Just doing a little shoot the breeze here. So I'm still getting unpacked, getting my office set up. I do have the internet set up. I just need to find which box my computer's in. I'm hoping to get most everything unpacked and set up today, hopefully. But you know how plans go, right? So, anyway, I've had a pretty eventful last few weeks. Um, I've had to learn to trust in God just even more than I don't think there's such a thing as trusting God enough. Even no matter how much you trust in God, there's still more trust you can place in Him. And there's been things out of my control. And I've how many times have I said this? I've preached this. Identify what the things in your life that you can't control and just give it to God. I practice what I preach. I do. Um, but even then, sometimes identifying the things that I cannot control, sometimes that's a stickler. You think that you can control it, but you can't. Being able to be self-reflective, uh, stepping back and looking at the whole picture uh, is important. Adeline is here. Hey, Adeline, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Adeline. Yeah, I'm just shooting the breeze today. I'm hoping to be on back on my normal schedule this Sunday. I am hoping to get everything down here in the basement, finished basement set up. My office is down here where I'll be setting everything up. I do need to get a lamp and locate my computer, which box it's in, and getting it set up. So, but as I was saying, learning to trust in God, giving to God what you can't control, and being able to identify what you can't. That's that it comes right back to that serenity prayer, right? Which comes directly from the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. But uh, so you're in between classes, Adeline. The serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. See, that's the key, the wisdom to know the difference. Sometimes that wisdom just comes with age, right? Sometimes identifying it may require sitting down with your pastor or an elder in your church or a parent or a sibling or a friend, someone who's on the outside. It seems like someone on the outside is able to see the big picture of what's going on with you than better than you yourself can, right? I think a lot of that is we get overwhelmed with what we're going through, and so there's an emotional attachment to whatever that is. And emotions can blind us. It can blind us in relationships. We can fall in love with the wrong person. Emotions can blind us to difficulties in our life. That's why I believe it is important when there's conflict with someone that you love to stop if you can. It can take a tremendous amount of effort and self-control and discipline, but to stop, step back, and um, allow cooler heads to prevail before you go in and discuss things. Because if you discuss it from a point of anger or emotional response, you're not going to get anywhere, and you're really going to make matters worse. There's some times where you may have uh, a temporary problem, something that may not matter a week from now or 2 weeks from now, and you get all bent out of shape over it. Look, I've done this. And you take something that wouldn't have mattered a week or two from now, but because of your response, you've created something that's going to, uh, that is going to matter much, much longer than that, right? So learning to identify those types of things. And I think a good rule of thumb when it comes to anger, and if you have anger issues, anybody watching this, if you have anger issues, and whenever you feel that anger first bubbling up, stop, take a breath. Don't say nothing. Bite your tongue if you have to. And just think, is this going to matter next week? Is this going to matter tomorrow? Is this going to even matter at all? If not, it's not worth getting angry over. And particularly when it has to do with someone that you love, you don't want to say something hurtful that you're going to regret. Brian, yeah. Hey, Adelaide, if you could pop me an email about that, I'd appreciate it. You've got my email address, right? Adelaide? If he comes into the chat, I may be able to do it here during the live stream. So shooting the breeze, anybody coming in, if you have anything you want to talk about, any topics, any questions, this is a good Q&A session to have here too. I'm not entirely sure how long I'll be live, probably as long as I'm able to, because I do really need to get into the basement. I'll turn this around. You'll see, if you can see all those boxes. Oh my goodness. Brian's here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Brian Robinson. All right. I'll come back. I don't think it's letting me make you a mod. Daggone it. If I was on my computer, I could do it during the live stream, but for some reason, no, it's not letting me. All right. Well, you're there. I'll add you as a mod when I can. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it, Brian. I'll make you a mod here. So, Adeline and Brian, or anyone else watching, if you've got any questions or any topics you want to talk about. Send us an email so we can email back. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I can do that if I have your email address. Mine is madddogs424@gmail.com. That's MADDOGS424@gmail.com. Mike Alpha Delta Delta Oscar Golf Sierra 424. What is happened when Moses came down the mountain? You're talking about Mount Sinai. So all the biblical story, the Hebrew people had, the Israelites, they had grown impatient. They had fashioned a golden calf and were worshiping the golden calf. That brings up a recurring theme we see in the Old Testament with Israel is God delivers them and they seek after God and his righteousness, and then they pull away from God. They begin going their own way, and they fall into idolatry and wickedness, and then God delivers them into the hands of their enemy. And then he then saves them once again. Back and forth, back and forth. You see this throughout the Old Testament. And there's a parallel to that to the individual Christian today. I've seen this many times where Christians, they get close to God in the hard times, or they get close to God and life starts getting difficult, and they seek after him and they get close to God, and then God works in their life and brings them out of whatever that trouble, trial, tribulation it may be, and then they get comfortable, they get complacent, and then they begin to fall back until the next trial and tribulation. And it begins a cycle, just as it was a cycle for the people of Israel. The Israelites, it's at an individual basis with many, many Christians. For many Christians, it seems the only time they do pray is when things are going wrong. Torrin Wells, who's a Christian singer, he's probably my favorite Christian musician. He has that song, Hills and Valleys. I've preached this. I've talked about this. We need to seek him in prayer and praise him in the hills and the valleys, right? In the good times and the bad, not just when we need him. We need to praise him and pray to him even when we don't need him, when we don't have a care to lay down, a burden to call upon him. Sometimes we just need to pray just to have that connection to God. God is worthy of our praise in the hills and the valleys. The goodness of God. I've talked about this. God is oh so very good. It's easy to look at the world around us and go, I don't see God. I see all the evil in the world. Where is God? The problem there is that many people see God as the source of all. Evil resides in the hearts of men. Man has free will to do good and evil. The evil of the world is because mankind, those men, have chose of their own free will to do evil. But we see in our individual lives, and we see miracles around us every day. You may not even realize it. Miracles every day. The miracle of life is evidence of God. Everything that had to come into place at just the right time for life to exist, statistically, is improbable. Brian says the devil never could have done up with free will. I want to touch on something. In our lives, when you're right, could never have come up with free will. You're right. In our lives, when we give in, say, well, this one drink, it'll be okay. This one drink, I'll be all right. Oh, I'll hang out with this old friend this one time. I'll be all right. When you begin to open your life up to unrighteousness in the world, you open yourself up to spiritual attacks from the enemy. Here's an example of this. A lot of people just think this is a game, right? It's a game. It's a fun little game you play with your friends, a Ouija board. Play with a Ouija board, you're opening yourself up to demonic influence. Yeah. How many times have I told myself that lie? Yeah. So you say, well, I'll just have this one drink. I'll be okay. Well, the next time, it's 2 drinks. The next time, it's a whole bottle, or maybe 2. It's a six pack. It's a case. Next thing you know, you're getting drunk more days than you're not. And when you get drunk, now alcohol is not going to make you do anything you wouldn't normally want to do. It just removes that inhibitions. You see what is really there for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people call alcohol the truth serum, right? Speak truth. Liquid courage, call it that too. There's a reason why the Bible condemns drunkenness and strong drink. It does not condemn drinking. It condemns strong drink and drunkenness. There's a reason. I quit drinking for 22 years. Then I told myself, what's this one time going to hurt? Now I am back where I started, having to quit again. Eric Butler's here. Thanks for coming, Eric. Good seeing you. Butler 2020, right? Yeah, good seeing you, Eric. I think one of these days in the future, I think this would be a good idea because I preach this, but I haven't really gone into depth into this. I don't know that I'll do it as a sermon, but God's divine order, actually going into what is that divine order in our lives. What is God's divine order for marriage? What is God's divine order for society? Why does God condemn some things, right? Well, I'm going to tell you that for a society to be healthy, the family must be healthy. That is the foundation of any society. That raises the next generation, that raises the next generation and the next generation. Unrighteousness, drunkenness, perversions, they degrade the individual, which degrades society. So, well, what does it hurt? I'm in my own home. I'm drinking in my own home. I'm not hurting anyone. Yeah, but you're also not being productive, right? You're not out there socializing with other people. Donna Terry's here. Hey, Chris. You're not out socializing with friends and family. You're not witnessing to others, sharing your testimony. It's good to see you, Donna. Yeah. I'm glad you made it, Donna. Good to see you. Donna, you had sent me several emails a while back with some poetry. I will be compiling all that together, and I'll read it in a live stream or a recorded video, one or the other, here in the near future. If you have anything else that you want to contribute between now and then, I'd appreciate it. You have amazing poetry that I think the whole world needs to see and hear. So, thank you so much for giving me permission to do that. Uh, what do y'all think of the beard? I think it's getting pretty magnificent myself. Letting it grow out gives me an excuse to rub my chin. Yeah, last summer I shaved it off, and I don't know, it just didn't. I don't know. I just really like the way I look better with a beard. Summer wear, those are usually worn in the winter. Yeah, beards. Yeah. I'm not shaving this beard off this summer. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to keep it. Yep. Yep. Going to keep it. Now, I think November, there's a thing every year where, like, at the beginning of November, you shave your beard and see how much it grows in a month. Here's the thing, my beard actually grows fairly slow. Like, it takes a little while. 2 weeks growth on me looks about like, I don't know, maybe a week for someone else. So, I do trim it up as it gets longer, trim it with the beard trimmer so that it's the same length, so that it's a little fuller. Because they don't, of course, anybody with a beard, it doesn't grow all at the same length or same speed. Love my beard. Got my hair cut yesterday. Look at that. Looking pretty, huh? All right. Any more questions? Any more ideas? At least you can grow one. The native in me doesn't allow a beard. Yeah, I've seen that. Some wear flip flops and shorts. Yeah. So Donna Terry says Shark do. Thank you. I tried for a while. I'd say handsome, not necessarily pretty. See, I say pretty because it's funny because I am a guy. I say pretty because it's, I'm just too pretty to die, that kind of thing, right? It's funny. Anyway, I tried non-military haircuts for a while. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like me. Just doesn't feel like me without a high and tight or something similar. So, this is probably the best haircut I think I've had in a while. I really like it. All right, well, here we're shooting the breeze. Here's a chance to ask me any questions you want. Have any topics you want to talk about? Throw a topic at me. We can talk. I got a spot on my glasses. Well, off to class, everyone. Later, Chris. Later, everyone. Later, Brian. Take care. The This is Donna. Donna Terry says, "Don't feel bad, Eric. The native of me won't let me grow a beard either." Oh my. So I'm probably gonna get off here pretty soon. Uh, Move to Kentucky, Chris. You know what? I like Kentucky. I do. The only thing that would keep me from Kentucky is well, their car insurance is about double to triple to what it is here in Indiana. I like my money, and I'd rather not spend it. Kentucky's a no fault state when it comes to traffic accidents. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Your insurance company is paying for your car, and because your insurance companies pay on every single claim, instead of here in Indiana where only one insurance company is paying per claim, insurance is more. Um, Kentucky is a beautiful state too, especially when you get out to like Eastern Kentucky, Southeastern Kentucky. It's absolutely beautiful. Central Kentucky is beautiful. It's a beautiful state. I love Kentucky. Keep preaching Christ. My head is hurting, but always good to see you, man. Yeah, it's good to have you here. Oh, Georgia. Still looking at Georgia here in a couple years. I'm gonna tell you, I really don't like moving, and this time I really tweaked my shoulder moving some of that heavy furniture. It still ain't right. Next time I'm going to hire movers. I'll pack up boxes. They're going to do everything. Donna says, "Dang it, I didn't know that, Chris. We're getting ready to close on a house in Kentucky." Well, praise God, I'm closing on a house. It's good. It's good. So where I hurt my shoulder at, I've got these two desks. They weigh probably like 400 pounds. I know. Embrace the suck, right? I talked about that in my road march video last year. Embrace the suck. Well, I am getting older. Yeah, I hurt my shoulder on that on the move. I mean, I'm dealing with it, but it ain't fun. It'll probably take me about a week or so. I think what happened was I pulled some ligaments. Good thing is I still have full range of motion. It just hurts, like really hurts when I move my arm. So moving to Warsaw, a little river town, the Ohio River in my new backyard, Warsaw, Kentucky, and it's on the river. How far is it away from Louisville? Is it in between Louisville and Cincinnati, or is it on the other side of Cincinnati, like towards West Virginia? Uh, we are downsizing because we're old. I'm leaving my big furniture in my big house. Smart. Yeah, downsizing. A lot of people do that. They downsize. They get to retirement age. They're empty nesters. They don't need the big yard anymore and the big house, and they downsize. Maybe they got a two-story house or a house with a basement, and they don't want to get up and down the stairs anymore. Oh, so I get it. This house that I bought is one story with a finished basement, and the whole finished basement is basically like a suite for me. And then the bedrooms upstairs, got plans for them. So this whole finished basement is basically my bedroom. It's like a 950 square foot bedroom. It's great. I'm gonna love it. Uh, you know, before I go, I'm gonna be going here in a couple of minutes, I guess. The last video I did, I think it was the last video, I talked about don't give in to despair, and it turned into a sermon. I don't know that I intended it to be, but that was a message that was meant for somebody. Warsaw is between Louisville and Burlington, Kentucky, or Cincinnati. Okay. Oh, you're not that far from me. If you're between Louisville and Cincinnati, you are not that far from me, Donna. Not at all. In 10 minutes, I can be in Louisville. In 10 minutes. I get on 71. I can be on 71 in probably 15 to 20 minutes from the house. So, I mean, you're not that far from me at all. Once you get onto 71, you head out that way. We've been retired and my nest has been empty for a while. Yeah, I think I remember you and I talked privately. Yeah. My parents, see, my dad just turned 62. My mom will be 62 in August. Or just a few years from retirement. I will forever be 39. My last birthday, that was just the first anniversary of my 39th birthday. I'll be 39 forever. Stick to one story. You mean story for a house? Um, Single story. Yeah, this is a single story home, but with a finished basement. I really love the old, like, Victorian style homes. I really love those types of houses. And The next house I own will be an older home. I think I may be 13 forever. Yeah. Some will tell you I'm a little immature at times for my age. An old friend of mine once said that you're only as old as you feel emotionally. If you act young, you're always young. So there you go. So as I was saying about don't give in to despair. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. Oh, Madison, Indiana is right across the river. I know exactly where you're at, Donna. I know exactly. Matt, but the last National Guard unit I was in Madison, Indiana. So I know exactly where you're at. I know exactly. Madison, Indiana is only like 45 minutes away from here. So don't give in to despair, no matter what you're going through. Just give it to God. Trust in Him. He'll get you through. Yeah. So if you haven't seen that video, that live stream I did, I think it was the very last video I did, I think. Don't give in to despair. I talked about Job. I read Job chapter 4 and into chapter 5. I think it was a pretty good video. You should go check it out if you haven't seen it. See, I told you you could be my son. Yeah. Yeah. Trust in God. Keep your trust in Him. Pray for wisdom, that God give you the wisdom that you can discern the things that you cannot change from the things that you can, so that you can just focus on those things that you can change. Don't even worry or fret about the things you can't. If you can't change it, why worry? Yeah, house one story. Yeah. All right. Well, folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and go here. It's been about 30 minutes or so. Again, I say go check out that video I did on Don't Give In to Despair. Just keep your trust in God. Don't allow yourself to give in just this one time will be okay, or just this one drink, or just this one joint, or whatever it is. It's never just that one. And the next time it'll be more, and the next time it'll be more, and the next time it'll be more, and next thing it's a problem. Live a righteous life, seek after God, follow His commandments. It makes for a better life. Trust me. Our God is a God of love. God bless.